Have you ever not heard back after applying for a position that you are perfectly qualified? Have you ever not received a senior executive offer after investing several months interviewing for it? Or have you ever been so close to a promotion only have to start all over again because of one organizational change? If your answer is yes to some of these questions, you might have doubt. Maybe it's a downturn, the industry, your company performance. Maybe it's your education, your age, your gender, where you were born, the way you speak English, the location you are in. Perhaps it's your luck, your timing. The question is not whether these circumstances are true. Maybe it is. But rather, what do we do about it? How can we confront the other side of the reality that might be true, which is, what if you are not good enough? What if you are not ready? What if you are not qualified? So now what? I often have people telling me that I have been stuck in the middle management for over 10 years. I've had 3 director jobs. I've always been a top performer. My performance review has always been exceed expectations, but I'm not promoted because my boss changed. My organization has a headcount freeze, and our D&I goals prioritize female leaders for these top promotions. I've tried to apply for jobs externally, but executive job openings are not published. LinkedIn job application does not work. HR system is broken. The location I'm in doesn't have these senior positions. When there is, internal candidates are preferred. Because of all this, I'm stuck. So when I hear these answers, I have this immediate thought in my head. What if you are not ready? What if you are just not good enough? This is a deeply passionate topic for me because I've been there myself and I've seen so many middle management who are stuck. And this victim mentality has hurt them more than it has helped. In this video, I want to go deep in this because it applies to employees, managers, and especially leaders. There's a possibility that it might not be because of your gender, your age, the way you look, the way you sound. It might not even be because of the downturn, your location, your company, or your manager. It could simply be that you're not ready, you're not good enough, and you're not a good fit. And even if you are right, even if there is bias, there are external circumstances like the economy that you cannot change, your company underperforming, your manager changed jobs. Even these biases and conditions exist and they will always exist. Wishing for a bias-free world or a world where you only thrive when all the conditions are perfect is not going to serve you well. You will end up waiting and wishing for a very long time. I spent majority of my career in construction and transportation industry. Whenever I travel with a group of colleagues, especially our management team, I was always the only female, the only Asian among all the male colleagues. Now, just to give you the context of how my peers look like, they are tall, they're white, they're from Scandinavian countries, most of them European, from North America. They're around age 45 to 55. I can't tell you how many times people think I am the assistant of this group. Taxi drivers, hotel staff, even customers or distributors, they don't know who is who. This assumption just shows there is a bias against people who look like me, female, Asian, probably look young, even though I'm not. The assumption is that female traveling with a group of powerful-looking males must be the assistant, which I often actually laugh about. I used to feel offended about these comments. Then I realized unfairness and ignorance exist in this world. So I start to laugh about it. I even choose to see this situation as an advantage or privilege because whether you are a man or a woman, whatever skin color you have, wherever you come from, you have advantages just as much as disadvantages. For example, when I was working in the construction industry, most of my colleagues, they were mechanical engineers and they have been in this industry for at least 15 years and they are very knowledgeable, they're experienced. They were super generous in helping me. They shared many insights about business, industries, products, competitors, our dealers, customers, partners, and other stakeholders that I do not see them sharing with their male colleagues who look like them and have similar backgrounds. One reason I thought was they deep down did not see me as a threat and they wanted to help me. So instead of I'm not promoted because I look too young, they didn't hire me because I'm not American or I'm not French, I'm not German, I'm not successful because of whatever that thing is. Now let's say you do some thorough study and analytics and you proved it by facts and figures that you are right. Now what? Great, you proved that you have disadvantages. The circumstance outside of you is not helping you. Okay, again, now what? Hey, by the way, if you want to connect with people who are actually taking ownership and they are making progress in advancing themselves from middle to senior executive career chapter, I'd like to invite you to my coaching program, the 1% Academy. I hold 2 weekly coaching calls there and I provide personalized mentorship. Anyways, if you are serious about your own development and want to see the results, go to this link and book a free strategy call with my team or myself so we can evaluate if working together is a good idea. One of the members in my coaching program is French, living in Sweden. He was in his late 40s. For a few years, he had setbacks in his career. After he joined the program, he really started to work on himself. In a matter of 5 months, he got a top leadership position in a very well-known organization in Sweden, going from an individual contributor to now leading a team of a few hundred. Here's the thing, he never questioned, I don't speak Swedish, that's why I'm not hired. He never said anything about his age, which was close to 50 years old. To many people, that's the end of job promotion. He was not stopped by the fact that his job at that time set back his career by 3 to 5 years. And his manager was not advocating for him. Even though his organization was not thriving at the time, some sponsors left. He didn't get offers from some of these. He always came to the coaching sessions, asking questions, then take actions. The week after, he's back, asking the next level of questions and take more actions. He shared what he has learned from each wins and his mistakes. He didn't get offers or sometimes even interviews for a few jobs he applied for. He never let any of these reasons slow him down. 5 months later, he went from being an individual contributor with no direct reports to now leading a team of 200. This is not about luck, timing, age, or the economy. His success is inevitable because he has become so good that it's impossible to not put him on these top positions. In any situation, you always have choices. You can either blame everything outside of you and continue to stay where you are, be right about all the reasons why you are not progressing, why you are not successful, or you can choose to thrive anyway. So for this case that I just described, was the economy in his favor? No. Was his French nationality an advantage for a top executive position in Sweden at a Swedish company? Not really. Did he make mistakes in his past career choices that he could no longer change? Correct. Did he face rejections? Absolutely. But did he achieve what he said he will anyways? You bet. So if you are in a position where you feel like you have disadvantages or biases against you, here is what I would ask. Start with this question. What would it take? What would it take for me to be so good that the president of the company want to invest in me? What would it take for me to become the vice president? What would it take for me to get a 55% pay raise? What would it take for me to consistently be the top choice of a CIO position whenever there is an opportunity? Instead of why me, ask what would it take? No one benefits from excuses. You hurt yourself more. Think about how relieving it is to know that there is something you can do about it. If you tell yourself, I just need to become better at X, for example, branding myself. I just need to become better at influencing people to want to invest in me. I just need to become better at networking with the right people. I just need to become better at telling the narratives that help others see my value beyond what I have done, but what I'm capable of. How relieving is it to know that the situation you are in is within your power to change? If you blame circumstance, which you have no control, for example, your gender, your age, where you're from, your location, the economy, your sponsor, your manager, you are handing over the power to whatever you are blaming. But when you realize it's about yourself, you feel empowered because now you can take action. You can do something about it. It is in your own hands. And to be clear, I'm not saying that timing, age, luck are not helpful or bias doesn't exist. It absolutely exists. But we have to live in a world where it does exist and be successful anyway. At the end of the day, this is about you and who you become. The only people who care about external circumstance and find excuses for why they are not where they want to be are the ones who will keep feeling frustrated and disappointed. These external circumstances are the things that comfort them when they put their head on the pillow at night, because it makes them feel it is okay to stay where they are. It doesn't hurt their ego as much to say, if I stop blaming everything and everyone else, I would have succeeded. I would have achieved my goal. If there's anything that I hope you take away from this video is that you have the opportunity to be an example and inspiration to others. Whether you have the wrong nationality, you speak in the wrong language, you are too young, you're too old, you work in an organization with constant changes, or you are in a downturn industry, maybe there are gender biases against you. These excuses like, I didn't get the CFO position because I'm not American, will not change anything. Wishing the world would stop just to make you successful is not realistic. You can still achieve your goal by simply asking, what would it take? Who do I need to become? Accept that the only thing you can control is yourself. The world is unfair, and the reason that you are not where you want to be It's because there's something that you could improve. If you are not thinking and acting like the leader you want to become, then you need to get much better. Whether that means improving your communication, influencing people, branding yourself, motivating your team, engaging with other stakeholders, it's the only thing you can control. Everyone knows somebody who made it, despite all the disadvantages. One of the leaders I look up to is the CEO of Chanel, Lina Nair. If you look at her background, she spent almost 3 decades of her career in Unilever as an HR. It's fair to say that she is an industry outsider. And she was born in India, a place probably you don't associate with French luxury. But she still became the CEO of Chanel, one of the most iconic fashion brands in the world. There are several role models of my previous colleagues at Volvo and Atlas Copco who has made it despite their circumstances. Everyone knows someone like that who, despite all the disadvantages, still made it. Do they have to be better than the others with the right nationality, speak the right language, and who happen to be with the right manager, the right company, the right industry? Yes. But it does not mean that it is impossible. It just means the bar is higher, and the only thing we have in control over is whether we are willing to make the climb. Having been the vice president of the 2 largest companies in Sweden by market cap, living in Europe, I don't always get enough recognition for all the things I did as well. If I were a guy, if I am European, if I look 10 years older, if I have studied mechanical engineering, I would probably get more credit and my way up would have been easier. But I'm a female, I'm Asian, I didn't study engineering, nor do I have an MBA. I live and work abroad. I do not speak any of the European languages, be it Swedish, French, or Dutch. I'm a mom of 2 small kids and I have a full-time working husband. So what did I do? I just got that much better. I worked so hard on myself to not let this negative self-talk slow me down. I use daily journaling to catch myself when I have that victim mentality. It feels much easier to say I'm not where I want to be because I'm Asian, a female, I work in construction, I don't have a mechanical engineering background, or even worse, blame my kids, I'm stagnant. I'm not reaching my goal because I have a family, because I need to take care of my kids. Instead, ask yourself, what would it take? What would it take for me to become so good that it's impossible to not promote me to these top positions? I have a specific process that I've used for myself to get 2 vice president positions, one in Asia, one in Europe, at 2 largest Swedish companies by market cap. If you want to learn how I achieved this in under 2 years, I encourage you to watch the free training. You will get all the steps I took to advance from middle management to top leadership positions by the age of 36. It's free. You can sign up at inspiremyday.org/masterclass or find the link in the description below. For now, I will leave you with this video to find out what it takes to become a vice president. I'll see you there.